But we start tonight with Shan Wu, former federal prosecutor who served in the Clinton administration as counsel to Attorney General Janet Reno. It's always good to see you, sir. Thank you. Let's put this in perspective, because it was just, a week and a half ago, time goes by so quickly now, of another unprecedented event, the conviction of a former president. So now we have a current president's son, former president, convicted of a crime. Can we compare and contrast at all sort of the seriousness levels of these two crimes that have now been gotten jury verdicts?
I actually think it's a little hard to compare them, because they are very different kinds of crimes. I think most importantly, neither of them are violent crimes, which I think is going to factor into the sentencing for both of them. And also one, of course, is for a public official, not just any public official, but the former president of the United States. And the other is for a private citizen who has never held public office. So that's the main contrast I would see in them. But I do think when it comes to sentencing for each of these defendants now convicted, the biggest issue is going to be the lack of violence and the lack of a prior criminal history.
Okay, so if we just think about the sentencing comparisons, Hunter Biden, sentencing is expected 120 days from today, October 9th. So that would still be before the election, although a firm date is not set. 3 felony counts, up to 25 years in prison, fine $750,000. Donald Trump, sentencing scheduled July 11th. An appeals court could delay the sentencing, faces up to 136 years in prison, $170,000 in fines. So you're saying, though, there's a chance that probably both of them won't go to jail?
Yeah, one, a little bit of an in-the-weeds distinction, but the federal system uses a pretty complex matrix where they give scores for different things. So the judge gets a pretty firm recommendation of what the range is going to be. They're not bound by that, but it's a much more specified kind of recommendation with a lot of quantified factors.
I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying, which is that the New York system, the judge gets to basically do whatever they want, and in the federal system,
exactly,
which is where Hunter Biden is, that the judge is much more constrained.
Right, right. That's exactly right. And I mean, they still have a pre-sentence recommendation from the probation officer, but it's not nearly as specific and quantified as the federal system is.
It's interesting. This is the special counsel talking today, and interesting, the prosecutor in this case from the Biden Justice Department, admittedly a special counsel, is, I don't want to say parroting, but certainly echoing the talking points from the Biden campaign and from Democrats, which is nobody is above the law and President Biden isn't going to interfere. Take a listen.
No one in this country is above the law. Everyone must be accountable for their actions, even this defendant. However, Hunter Biden should be no more accountable than any other citizen convicted of this same conduct.
He seems like even the prosecutor is sort of arguing for leniency to Hunter.
It does sound that way, and I think that's a reasonable position to take. Again, when you factor in the lack of violence, the lack of a criminal history, that makes sense. I mean, I guess where I would quibble with him is he's very specific as to conviction. I mean, as you know, I've taken a position that's questionable why they brought the case, because most similarly situated defendants, they don't get charged for this possessory crime or the false certification unless it gets used for a crime somewhere else, the gun.
Yeah, it seems kind of silly. I agree with you that it's one of these things that if his name was not Hunter Biden, if his name was not Biden, he would not be charged with this crime. And you and I may disagree that if Donald Trump's name was not Donald Trump, he would not have been charged with the business records crime that didn't result. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.